This is an art attack. This is an art attack. This is Art Attack. Hello there. Hey, do you get into trouble for sticking things on your bedroom wall in case you ruin the wallpaper? Well, why not tear the wallpaper apart and stick it to the brick wall underneath? Only joking. Take a closer look. This is my hole in the wallpaper notice board. Come and have a look at this. Now, to make a hole in the wallpaper notice board, you need to cut a big piece of cardboard box card, as big as you can get, and it doesn't need to be neat or anything around the edges. And to turn this into a brick wall, we're going to print on it using a rectangle of old sponge, or you could cut a brick-shaped piece of cardboard box card. That's good for printing with. I'm actually going to use an old washing up sponge. See that? Now, you need to mix some poster paint or acrylic paint into a nice reddy brick colour, so a bit of red and brown. Dip your sponge in and then just print it onto your cardboard box like that. If you're using a small sponge like this, you may need to just move it along a bit and print it again to get the right brick size, and then continue with a row of bricks along your card, but don't forget to leave a gap of about 1 centimetre for the mortar. And when you get to the end of the row, you go on to the next row of bricks. Don't do the bricks one underneath each other, just slightly offset them like this so that you've got a brick under a line of mortar. See that? Just printing it under that line of mortar, just slightly move it along. And when you've covered the whole of your cardboard box card in your print, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. And see what I've done here? I've got my brick wall with all the rows slightly offset. Now, to create the torn wallpaper effect, take some glue and just put a thin strip of glue along the top and the bottom of your cardboard wall, like that, and then just cut some strips of drawing paper, or even old wallpaper if you want to, and just line them up with the bottom and the top of your cardboard wall and stick them down into the glue, like that, and then put a thin strip of glue down the side there, and again, put 2 strips of paper in. These strips are about 15 centimetres wide. You don't need them any bigger than that. Just press them into the glue and leave them to dry. And when the glue has dried, those paper strips are stuck round just around the edges. See that? Just stuck down around the edges. Now, to create the ragged, torn wallpaper effect, it's simple. You just tear the wallpaper into sort of jagged, edged shark's teeth. There, like that. See that there? You've got a sort of jagged shark's tooth effect. And then just crinkle it up and bend it back on itself like that. I'll show you another one there. Again, you just tear it down the edge. No need to be neat with this. Just create a sort of jagged triangle effect, or shark's tooth, like that. And then just crumple it up and bend it back on itself. And go around all of the paper, around the edge of your cardboard wall in the same way. Look at all those jagged shark's teeth there. They look like the wallpaper has been ripped and you've got the brick wall shining through the middle there, like that. Then you use it to just pin or sticky tack all your notices, your photographs, your notes too. And there it is. There's your hole in the wallpaper notice board. And you just put a piece of string on the back, just tape it on, and then hang it up on the bedroom wall. And no one can say that you've ruined your wallpaper by sticking things to it, because you've stuck them to the brick wall instead. Try it yourself, a hole in the wallpaper notice board.
Brilliant! Simply brilliant! Oh, hello, it's me, the head. Now, to make one of those, remember it all starts with a big piece of cardboard box card. Mix some paint and use an old sponge or piece of card to print brick shapes onto it. Leave little gaps between each printed brick. When your brick wall has dried, stick strips of white paper around the edges. Tear the paper so it looks jagged and scrunch it back. When you've done all the way round, you'll have a hole in the wallpaper notice board, ready to pin all your pictures, pop stars, notes and photos on. Oh, to keep you up to date. Yes.
God, look at this lot. Brilliant. Parachute club? Have some of that. No parachuting today. Oh. Come on, that gives me an idea for a big art attack. Absolutely brilliant for me. Where can I do it?
Over there.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I've got absolutely nothing to say about that picture. Apart from, it was just great.
Just take a look at this chap. What do you think's wrong with him? Bad hairstyle. Well, not only is it bad, it doesn't look very realistic. Well, here's a good tip to remember. Next time you're drawing hair, remember two things: split ends and hair bands. I'll show you what I mean. Let's start with the split ends. Now, the ends of your hair are actually at the fringe here, and round the side there, see the ends there, and round the back. So when you're drawing the ends, just split them. So there's the fringe. I'm just going to split the ends. See, like those jagged edges there, just split ends round the side, split them again, and then down the back, more split ends. So that's at the fringe, round the side, and round the back, because you don't want the hair to be too neat. A few more split ends round the front, and already it looks a lot more realistic. And even if the fringe is parted, just give it a few split ends. See that? Split ends there, and then split ends round the side, and again down the back like that. Now, I know the old shampoo adverts say you shouldn't have split ends, but believe me, when you're drawing, we like split ends, don't we? And not too neat round the top there, and there it is. And look at that. Already, with split ends, they look a lot more realistic. So that's the split ends. But what about the hairbands? Now, I don't mean ordinary hairbands. I mean hairbands of light. You see, lots of people forget the hair is actually quite shiny, and usually the light shines on it from above. So, when you're drawing hair, just draw a thin band of light across the top of the head. See that? Sort of a hairband, but of light. And then when it comes to colouring it in, just colour the hair in and leave that hairband of light. But don't make it too neat, because again, when you're drawing hair, nothing should be too neat. And look at that. A few jagged edges in there on the band of light and a few split ends, and that looks a lot more realistic. I'll do it on hair again. A hairband of light across the top, and just make it slightly curved around the top of the head. You don't want it too straight. Just curve it up at the edges. And again, when it comes to colouring it in, don't do it too neatly. You know what I'm like. I never like to do things too neatly on Art Attack. And with split ends and hairbands of light, the hair looks a lot more realistic. And it works for any hairstyle. Just watch this. So don't forget your split ends at the fringe, and around the side, and around the back, and a hairband of light around the top of the head. Colour it in. Don't make it too neat. Around the side there, and round the back. And look at this. It works for this neat, short, straight hair. And let's try it for long, curly, wild hair. Split ends at the front, the side, around the back. Really wild, this one. There. Just do the shape of the hair at the top. Oh, that is wild. Look at that. And let's just put that band of light in there. Now I'm going to break it up a little bit more on this one because of that wild hairstyle. See that? And it goes there. That band of light would be quite broken up with this wild hairstyle. And this is just colouring the rest. Round the back. And there it is. Try it yourself. Make your hairstyles a lot more realistic with split ends and hairbands of light.
So, I've got my split ends around the edges and a hairband across the top for more realistic looking hair. I think it works. Don't you?
Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Keelan. We had an art attack by cutting out and folding paper.
We made lots of petals and stuck them down to make colourful 3D flowers.
My name's Elizabeth, and this is my half and half face. I cut out one half from green paper and the other from red. Then I glued it down, swapping some of the colours over.
Hello, my name is Andrew, and I had a sunny daytime art attack. I painted a big orange and yellow sun overlooking a house on a hill. I used really bright paints to make my picture colourful and warm.
Hi, my name's Karina, and I made a nighttime picture using chalks. First I drew an owl perched on a branch. Then I coloured it in with different coloured chalks. To make the stars, I spattered white paint against the background.
Yes, brilliant art attacks. Hey, and what about those two pictures with different techniques? One for doing day and one for doing night. Well, how's about putting both into a picture, both day and night? Try this. Take a piece of thick paper or thin card and put a plate on top of it and draw around the plate, like that. Now, you can use a plate like this, or you can use something big and round. And the idea is to mark the centre point there. Now, you can measure this with a ruler, but do it accurately, or you can use compasses. And then take a piece of sticky tack, place your card on top of it, and then take a sharp pencil and very carefully pierce a hole in that centre point like that, through the card, into the centre point and into the sticky tack. That way you protect the furniture. And then cut the circle of card or thick paper out, and you will have a circle of card or thick paper with a hole in the middle. And then do another one in exactly the same way, so you have two of them. Put one to one side for the moment, and then place this one down flat and draw an outdoor scene on it. Now, you can do anything you like, but just make sure that the horizon on your picture, where the sky touches the ground, is above that hole. It's very important. The horizon must be above that hole. I'm just drawing a very simple countryside scene here. Put a little farmhouse in. And let's say some hedges down here. Again, just keeping it very simple and cartoony. Draw anything you like, really. Any outdoor scene, as long as the horizon is above that hole in the middle. And just scribble in a gate. See that? Just done very quickly. Good effect, that. And then when you're happy with your picture and you've finished it, just colour it in. You can paint it or felt tip pen it, and then cut off the sky. You don't need to colour that in at all, so that you have something that looks like this. There it is, a coloured in picture without a sky. But don't worry, the sky hasn't disappeared. Take your other circle of card and just draw a line that goes through the centre of that hole this time, right through the centre, not above it, like on the last piece of card, right through the middle. And in the top half, we're going to draw a daytime sky, so I'll just put the sun in there like that, and then a couple of cartoon clouds. It's a very simple picture, like that. And yes, you've guessed it, in the bottom half, you turn it over and just draw a nighttime sky. I'm just going to do a moon up there, like that, and do a couple of stars like this. And when you've done both skies, just colour them in like you did your picture. When you've coloured them in, you'll have something that looks like that. There's your daytime sky, and turn it over, and I've coloured the whole of this sky in black, and I've done the stars and the moon in silver pen to make it all shiny. And then take your half picture and place that on top like that, and then take one of these split pins. Now, you probably have some of these lying around at school, or you can buy them from stationery shops, and just pierce your half picture by pushing it through the hole that you created, and then again through the hole in your sky, and then just open the pin out at the back, split it, hence the name split pin, and there you have a picture where it's daytime 1 minute, and then a quick turn, and it's nighttime the next minute. And you can do any picture you like. Look at this one. Here's the city, a nice sunny day in the city, and then give it a turn, and it's nighttime in the city. And you don't even need to do day and night. You could do changing weather. And look at this. There's the jungle, and it's nice and sunny 1 minute, and then the next minute you have a tropical storm. Try it yourself. A picture where the sky changes. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!
That would be great, being able to change the weather.
I would make it sunny every single day. More from Art Attack at the same time tomorrow. Now we've got an Art Attack email. This one is from Chloe Bucklow from the Isle of Man. Hi, Chloe. She says, "Hi, Tom and Danielle. I love Art Attack. It's the best. and you're both grooving.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Keep all your emails coming in if you have access to the internet. www.citv.co.uk. And of course, Neil's back with Art Attack tomorrow.